Good afternoon, everybody. Jeff here. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having a nice day. It was a lovely day. It was just starting to rain over here, but it's okay. I want to do another backstory of one of my songs, and I was thinking about this one because this one goes way back, over 10 years ago, and was living in rural Nova Scotia in the country, and we was having a fixer-upper of a house, and was living like this self-sufficiency lifestyle. Really was just trying it out. Basically it was me getting it out of my system because I've always wanted to do it, and so it was kind of full on. And we had small kids at the time, and grown up now. Anyway, we had goats. Then we had a couple of goats and a big garden. It was growing lots of vegetables and stuff, and we had lots of chickens. So anyway, I would go out in the morning and milk the goats, and so it was in a shed. We had a shed, and I built a table for the goats and put them on the table, and I'd been milking the goats. And sometimes they put the leg in the bucket and stuff, as they do, so to try to stop that and all that. Anyway, so what I used to do, I used to sing to the goats, because Maggie, the best milker, she was a beautiful white La Mancha goat without any ears, little tiny ears, funny looking, but lovely. And she used to sit like a dog. She used to sit, just you see her just sitting down like a dog would. And anyway, big personality, lovely goat. And but she was really fidgety on the milking table, and she would, if you weren't careful, she would put a foot in the bucket and they'd have to throw the milk away. So I used to sing to them. So I had to start singing, and I'd made a song called the Goaty Goaty Jig, do the Goaty Goaty Jig, do the Goaty Goaty Jig, because that's what she used to do. She used to be jumping all over the place, calming her down, and the rooster would be crowing, and the other goats would be bleating, and it was kind of balmy really, but wonderful. And I thought, oh, I should really record it. And because you never know, you're singing, making songs up on the spot and doing this. I thought, I'm going to record it and see what happens. So I didn't have a phone, so what I had was an old tape deck, and so it had a little record thing on it, a little inbuilt microphone, I think. And so I put a cassette in there, and I just record the actual milking. So I've still got the recordings now, and you can hear the animals, sounds, and the roosters and all of that, and the goats, and you can hear it, and me just making songs up. And anyway, one day I just started singing The Best Is Love, and basically I think the whole song just came out, and I played it back. I was like, wow, that was good. And so I think I had to touch it up a little bit, but basically the whole thing just came out and spontaneously. And so I think I left it for a bit because it kind of intimidated me, and I was like, oh, it happens a lot. I've still got songs now that I've got on the back burner because they intimidated me a little bit. Maybe because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's resistance, but I've got some that I'm like, oh, I really should do that song. I really should do that, get that finished. But for some reason I always resist it. Anyway. But this one I did that too for a little bit, but then I didn't. I pulled it up, and I pulled up the recording of it, and I started to write the music for it, put the music down, because the tune was pretty much there, and in fact the tune was there. So I think I added a few lyrics, maybe I added a bridge part to it, but it was basically there. But it was a really hard one to actually harmonise because it's very chromatic, and that was unusual too, because normally when the songs first come, they are kind of in the key, and I go, oh, I'm going to shift that out of the key and stuff like that. But this one came in its pretty much form, and so it was a hard one to actually put the chords in because it was moving through keys all the time. So it took me quite a while to get it right, but I got it right, and that's it. It's a lovely song. My wife will say it's one of my best ones, and she loves it. It is. I think it's a good song. I'm very proud of it. But that's how it came. It just came out spontaneously, just like that. And It's lovely. I love it. And I wonder what frame of mind I was in when it came out, because maybe I was thinking about when I was a kid. Maybe I was thinking about how I always wanted to have the self-sufficiency lifestyle ever since I think I got my mum to take me to see the film called The Wilderness Family when I was little, and I thought, oh, that'd be a nice way to live. And it's funny because I think that was set in Canada, so it was funny how I ended up in Canada. Interesting. So maybe I was thinking about that, but it's a wonderful thing looking back on them times, because I think back to when we had all the animals and the kids was little, and as the kids would go out and collect the eggs. I know at one point we had two little girls, and it was before Fred was a baby. Fred was a baby, and the two little girls were probably 5 or 6, something like that, 6 or 7. And they had a little stall. They would sell the eggs, and then we had a little vegetable stand on the bottom where we would sell some vegetables, kale and stuff, and they would sell the eggs for pocket money, and it was wonderful times. Hard times, because especially in Canada you've got the bugs in the summer and you've got the snow in the winter. It's hard in the winter because of the temperature and stuff, and sometimes it would get so cold that you do worry about the animals and stuff, and the water would freeze for them, so you'd have to keep bringing out hot water for the chickens and stuff. So interesting way of living, but it had its wonderful parts too. Satisfying. I remember that the harvest, when we all went out into the garden, and the girls too, and there was carrying squashes and piling them all up for storing, and it was wonderful. So it's interesting looking back, and yeah, it's an interesting one. So that's the story of the song, and it came from them times. It just came from that period, which was a wonderful period, and just different segments of life, isn't it? So that's that. I find it interesting. I hope you found it interesting. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any similar stories or anything you want to say, please comment below. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and look after yourselves, take care, love and light.